name is Enno Schmidt. I'm from Switzerland, and I'm a co-founder of the initiative of an unconditional basic income in Switzerland. What is successful now as a popular initiative, and it comes to a referendum in 2016 that the population, the citizens of this country, will vote about if they want to introduce a government to implement an unconditional basic income or not. So I think one point is important to say. It's a question of biography. Everybody comes from anything, and for me especially, I comes from being an artist, having the question, so painter, and this was successful in a way, but then the question for me where the artist today grows up and becomes important, and my answer was the art is today in the social relationships. That means in the economy, in the enterprises, not only in the studios and the museums and the galleries. And so I went in enterprises to figure out what the art is in enterprises, in the way of working together, in the way of handling the substances, and so on. And this I did, and founded an enterprise and went in banks to see what is money real, from what it comes, what is the shaping of money, the creation of money, what it is in real, not in our imaginations. And from these 2 points, being an artist, that means doing the things in your own responsibility, being aware that it's your life, your responsibility, and being individual to look what is really necessary for you to do and what you want to come in reality. And this was come together for me in the idea of an unconditional basic income, to set everybody free, to be an entrepreneur, to be responsible and more free. Give your life a chance. Give your biography a chance. Give the new things a chance, what is not thought before. Don't live a life what is thought before, and that life is only to fill full what the older one thought, but be new. And be able to create entrepreneurial activities or single activities, and be able to have a look what really is needed in the world. And that is not only what is done by labor, what is done by painting. And to abolish a bit this mentality that work is paid. Work is what I do for you or for other people. Work is, the meaning of work is to do good things for others. And I need money to live. And it's no problem to want to have many money or to become rich. This is all fine. But first, it's important to understand work is not slavery. Work is that I do what I see, what is necessary, what I want to do, and where I see that I can do something good for other people. And this and many other things becomes more clear by this idea of unconditional basic income. And I guess it makes much more dynamics, much more meaningful activities in the society. I'm a co-founder of this, and regarding to your question, we started with 2 people, Daniel Haney and me. He more as an entrepreneur and I'm more as an artist. And a main point, an important point was that we have a look of that it has to be aesthetic, that it has to be beautiful, that it has not to be poor side, everything is so bad and we need, and with compulsion, to work with compulsion, but to work with attractivity, that we are attractive and this idea is attractive. And we did a lot of events, and we have a lot of interviews, and it come in the medias in Switzerland, and then other people come to us to want to go with us, and they thought it's the time to start a people initiative, and then we do it because they say this. And this is important too, that you don't have to ask for other people to do something what you think, what they have to do. If you have an idea, do it by yourself, go ahead, and then other people have the possibility to go with you or to do their ideas. And this is the difference between Switzerland and all the other countries, that we have this democracy. I will say others is not democracy, it's step to democracy, but too much representative, and we have direct democracy. And that means if in Korea are people who are in burning for an idea or thinking this is good for society, then they can start an initiative. And with this instrument of people initiative, you are immediately on a real political level. You don't have to wait till any party in the political world think like you or what else. And this is important for me, that the idea of unconditional basic income is not to wait, but to go by yourself. And even if the step is in the nothing, then the growth round will come with you if you really do the step. And these are old secret things, but it really is the rule and the law. And so we start this, and we got this 100,000 signatures, what is necessary to get in 18 months in Switzerland. This is the rule. And if you have this, like we did, then it's legally binding for the government to make a popular people vote or a referendum. But a referendum normally is understood by that the population say no to a law what is done by the government. But in Switzerland this is possible too. But on the other hand, and that is more and more in a deeper democratic understanding, the right of initiative. And so we have this opportunity now to have the referendum, the people voting, and this means that it is a state's affair, it's a national affair, only because Daniel and me thought this could be good. And that means that everybody in Switzerland will think about it. And the most people in Switzerland who come closer to this idea, and this is the same by the government in the moment, they see the value of this initiative in discussing these topics. What is the work of future and the relationship to income? What is income and work and many other things in future? And it is related to education. The meaning of education, for what, in what way? And the meaning of money, the meaning of what is economy. And all this, and I'm very happy to see that there are many people who understand this main line and point of this initiative, what is not quickly to say yes and no, white or black, but to come in a process. And this knowing about or understanding by processes, this is very necessary today for me, not in cases, this case, that case, but to understand the first step is, for example, by this unconditional basic income, to understand something from the idea, not the number of the amount of an unconditional basic income. This is the last point, and this is a democratic. My experiences for young people in Europe, and maybe this is the same in Korea, they did not know that they have, in a way, an unconditional basic income, money from the parents, and so they often felt, no, I want to emancipate, I want to become more free by this feeling that or what I do is valuable and I'm paid for it. So I become free and I get the feeling that I'm asked from the society and it's worthwhile, valuable what I'm doing. And this is an important step in the history too, that you don't own to a family, own to a sovereign, to a duke or king or what else, but you become free in the way that you are paid for your work. And this comes more to individual feelings and free feelings and the feeling that I'm worthwhile. What I'm doing is asked by society. And it's possible to have it. It's not like 50 years or 100 years ago. And all the circumstances in industry and society needs that it is it's more a challenge to everybody to be responsible for you yourself more than before and to work harder than before, harder in that way that all the questions about you yourself, about what you really want to respond in your work, they become harder than in the generation before, and in this way the young generation has harder to work in this way. On the other hand, computers and machines and so on takes away the old hard work, but the new hard work is another one, and this needs another kind of income. An income what is guaranteed, an income what is not in either case binding you to a special work, and this is much more creative, this is much more effective, much more dynamic, and it's much more necessary today, very seriously, for the young generation to come in a world and to fight for this world and to figure out, create this world, where there are more movable, where it's more possible for the people to do their own way and to do it really from you yourself. This is the development of history and of society. It's in either step. If you have a look in the history, every development step is more freedom, more responsibility. And unconditional basic income is the next step. It's not so funny. So it's a misunderstanding to think people become lazy or this is a fantasy. No, it's harder working, but on another way. The way what is currently, the way what we want to work.